was up in Grand Forks. We had 4 tornadoes in town that day.
Yeah, the Grand Forks would have been, I guess, Sioux Falls, warning area, and then the Minneapolis, St. Paul. I mean, probably the 2 big tornadoes that everybody might have heard of would have been the Albert Lake, Conjure, Supercell, and then Wadena, which was featured on Storm Chasers. So we thought most of our team was out that day, and we thought we would go over the synoptics, maybe from a chase standpoint. What are some stuff that we would want to look at that would have said, hey, there might be a big event this day, and what kind of produced that cavalcade of supercells that day that just kept producing? I don't remember what the total number was, but it was quite a few tornadoes that were reported and confirmed. And for Minnesota standards, it was definitely an outbreak that hadn't been seen since probably the late 1960s.
Wasn't it a record for Minnesota in one day?
I thought it was like 80.
Stacked right up there. Needless to say, it was a big deal, to put it lightly. So,
Yeah.
More
than
yeah. And the first thing I threw in here was 500 millibar battery. This is from 12Z on June 17th. So this would be the 7 a.m. See if I can zoom in here, so you guys in the back might be able to see that a little bit better. And take a look at this 500 millibar map and see what jumps out at you here.
Negatively tilted trough.
Okay, so we got a negatively tilted trough over here in the northwest. Why is that usually something you would want to see for severe weather? Yeah, because you can see, if you look up here, you've got the divergent defluent flow off. Notice up here in Minnesota, the pipe contours kind of got that cattywampus look to it. That's kicking off convection in the morning. Any idea why that might be? Nature's hangover might be a little bit of a problem at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Work over the atmosphere.
Yeah, because there was a lot of concern. I'll show you a radar loop here in a little bit, that there might be a little bit of a worked over atmosphere that could have very well killed the day. And then there's also a strong cold front, which we'll look at when we get to the surface chart, which if there's too much convergence and that moves too fast, there was the potential. I think a day or two out, they thought it was going to be a big wind event. Big linear day, not so much maybe tornado, and we'll talk about why that happened in a little bit. Anything else that jumped out to anybody for June?
Kind of looks like a jet max going up right around the base of the trough.
Yeah, you've got that positive vorticity advection coming across the base of the trough. There's looks like a 60-knot little jet streak that's in there that's kind of headed towards the northern plains. That's always something you want to see because you've got that energy coming in. So it tells you by June standards a fairly decent setup if the other surface features can coalesce with that, which happened. We ended up getting the instability and we had some surface features. So I thought I would throw that in there just so we could go over that and take a look. Got the, on the left, I've got the radar loop, and then the right is the satellite loop from that day. That might be kind of hard to see, but you can see the ongoing convection in the morning, especially up there by Grand Forks and up north of the interstate. But that ended up actually also Wadena was up that way, so that ended up being a pretty active area too. Besides, you'll notice the southern area kind of remained free of convection, which was one of the reasons some of us kind of targeted that first. We were a little worried that this was going to get worked up. The shear was there. That wasn't a problem. That was pretty magnanimous shear that day. But the question was the instability going to materialize where we're going to get everything come together like we needed to? Take a look at the surface map. I'll see if I can zoom in again. Anything look appetizing here? This is also 12Z, 1230Z actually. So you got 7:30 in the morning. We had a surface analysis here that's plotted.
Skies are clearing up.
Yeah, we got skies clearing up. Somebody said southeasterly winds. That's always good because that gives you that good backing ahead of your lift source, which is going to be this vigorous front out here, which later on will make its way through the Dakotas and head towards Minnesota. So surface low up here, that'll come into play. We also noticed there was a retreating warm front too, and that's something that you're always going to want to watch if you're chasing, because what is up front?
Boundary.
It's a boundary, and especially warm fronts, you've got a lot of enhanced helicity. And if storms can root in that boundary and then travel parallel to that, that's often associated with some significant tornadoes. So that'll be something to kind of watch as the day goes on. And one thing you should always do if you're chasing, of course, take a look at the surface map in the morning. You can even do, I think COD has a site you can print out and do your own hand analysis.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to print it out and actually do it the old-fashioned way, that's always a good way to learn. I think we talked a little bit about that, kind of doing your own hand analysis and don't just look at models, kind of take a look at surface